Closing costs, such a huge part of the mortgage transaction. Everybody's focused on the rate, but the reality is any lender can really get you any rate up and down the chain by what you have on the rate sheet, depending on how much they charge you in costs. So, what are some key things that you want to look at when you're looking at costs? First thing is you want to make sure that you're not just getting an email. We see that a lot of times where somebody says, here's the deal I'm getting. I've got an email that outlines some of the costs, but really not all the costs that are involved in the loan. Sometimes it's kind of shooting from the hip or giving round numbers. You really want to get what they call a loan estimate. A loan estimate is the full breakdown of fees. Until you have that, you really don't know everything that you're paying. So the more you can get that on hand, the better you can do. The second thing is you want to make sure you're not just looking at the total cost. Now, that might sound a little funky, but let me give you an example. This is a copy of a loan estimate. Now, if you look down here at the bottom, you're going to see that cost of $67,000. Say you got another estimate and it only showed $64,000. Is that a better deal? Well, it kind of depends. It depends on what you're estimating. As the name infers, it's a loan estimate. The reason they call it that is there's a lot of third party fees that really don't matter who you're going to work with, they're going to be the same down to the penny. For example, this section here is title company charges. Now, depending on the title company you pick, that might be a little bit different, but that title company is not going to charge the lender that you work with a penny different. So you can work with a big bank, a local lender, abclending.com. All of it is going to be the same down to the penny, but they might estimate those charges to be a little bit differently. Same thing if we look at the government fees or taxes. If you have one lender who's out of state and they think your taxes are going to be $400 a month and the local lender thinks they're going to be at 3357 or the other way around, does that mean that they're actually going to be different? No, of course not. Your taxes and insurance and government fees are going to be the same, again, down to a penny. But if one person estimates that they're more and one person estimates that they're less, it's going to make that bottom line figure look a lot different. So, with all that being said, what do you want to look at? It's these fees here in the top left corner. So in that top corner, you have the origination charges. Sometimes it's listed as the portion A. Sometimes you hear 800 fees, but it's all the lender fees. Those are the only fees at the end of the day that are going to be any different from lender to lender. So you really want to look at what are you paying? In this instance, they're paying $3,000 in points. Does the other lender have points to be able to get you the same rate? Their underwriting fees, $13.95. Sometimes you see that called a closing fee. Sometimes you see that called an origination fee. But that's their fee for processing the loan. The other thing you want to look at is down here in this bottom corner, you can see on this purchase loan, somebody snuck in a refinance charge for $4,300. Important to know. Now, that's something that isn't going to fall into this section, but another thing that you want to check out as an additional fee. So don't worry too much about these title company fees. They may vary from lender to lender, taxes, government, insurance, escrows, things of that nature. It's going to be the same down to a penny. What you want to know is, are there any differences in the lender fees? And are there any of these sneaky little fees down here that they're getting in that you need to keep an eye out for? After that, you want to watch out for duplicate fees. So I just mentioned that there's a lender's cost to do a loan. Normally that's listed as the origination fee. You can see the example that we just did, it was labeled as an underwriting fee. Now here's a great example. I look at this loan compared to the other one, it only has that quarter point that's on there. This is only about $500 compared to $3,000. So here's an underwriting fee and it says it's only $1,097. Say you're working with another lender and you say the other lender is 1,000. That's pretty close. But what you can see right here above is there's an application fee that's another $300. That's the same thing. That's a little bit of funny math as you're looking at it. Sometimes they list it as a closing fee, sometimes as a processing fee, but sometimes you'll see them break it out because they don't want to see one fee listed as too big of a number. So they'll list 1,000 on one line, 500 on another, 500 on another, 500 on another. It's the same $2,500 fee. It's just broken out, or in this instance, almost $1,400 fee. It's just broken out. So you want to keep an eye on both of those. So really, if you're getting a formal loan estimate where everything is actually in writing and you can see all the cost, you're not just looking at the bottom line, you're looking at the specific lender fees and then any of those hidden fees that are down there in the bottom. And then you're making sure that any of those duplicate fees, you're comparing apples to apples. If you can do that, you're going to know everything you need to know about having a great loan estimate on hand. Hope this helps. If you need any shopping or second opinions on anything you're looking at, let me know and I'm happy to help. Take care, everyone. Bye.